What's up, y'all, and welcome to 2025 and In the Wild podcast. I'm super excited to be back with new episodes for you guys. And for our first episode of the new year, we have some very special guests, our newly crowned Mr. and Miss AU. So we have Quintus Williams and Alyssa Pearson, very involved, very cool, very funny students. And I'm excited to talk to them about their shining moment of being crowned, but also a little bit about what keeps them busy on campus, because like I said, they are busy with a bunch of different things, and I think it's going to be a good conversation. So we have a lot to catch up on, but first we're going to talk to these guys. So here we go. Quintus, Alyssa, welcome to In the Wild. It's 2025. Thank y'all so much for being here, and congratulations again on being crowned our newest Mr. and Miss AU. I guess just diving right in, what was that moment like when you just heard your name called to be crowned?
For me personally, I was just like in complete shock. I actually did not think I would like have a shot at winning. I mostly did it just for the experience and like getting to know these people and just being more involved on campus. So I never actually thought I was going to make it all the way. And I just remember just like the double chin was crazy in the picture. Because I was just like in so much shock and like I was so excited as well. And then I think I was first. So I was really excited. Was Mr. Augusta?
I think they announced me first and then.
So you were first? I just remember just like thinking like, oh my gosh, I get to work with like whoever Mr. Augusta was, which was Quintus. Very exciting. But it was just like, I don't know, it was just like a steady incline of excitement. And when I didn't hear my name in the top two, I also won the talent portion. So I was like, there's no way. Like maybe I did actually win. And then I did. And it was just like very exciting. So I'm excited to represent the school well.
That is really exciting. What was your talent, by the way?
I did martial arts, taekwondo. I am a black belt, technically. I did martial arts when I was like in middle school, high school. And then I took a little break because I also am I played soccer for 15 years. So I was a college athlete my first year at a little school called Belhaven University. Then I transferred here. So I decided I'm not very talented. I don't dance. I can't really do anything else. So I was like trying to brainstorm what I could do. And Taekwondo just really did have that experience of helping me build my own confidence growing up when I was younger. So I think kind of implicating that in boards, I mean, who doesn't like to see a good board break, right?
Right.
So doing stuff like that is very exciting, and that was my talent for this pageant.
Nice. What about you, Quintus?
For me, I was shocked. And a lot of people ask me why I was shocked. Even though I was a freshman, I've done a few pageants over the years. So I've seen it before, like where one person win every category and they don't win.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Me competing against like juniors and seniors, and some of them had did it twice already. So like when they called my name, I was like, well, I did just win every category, but I couldn't breathe. Like if you look in the video, I was literally telling right, I cannot breathe. I'm about to faint. I cannot breathe. And even when I was looking, my mom was crying, but I had to stop crying, but I can't breathe. Like, I need water. I couldn't believe it. And then be the first ever freshman to compete, that was already a big deal. But to be the first ever freshman to win, that was like not only a big deal for me, but like for the other freshmen that are here now and those to come, they're going to be like, oh, well, if Quintus could do it, then we could too. So I was just very excited.
Absolutely. And I guess just because you shared a little bit about your journey getting to AU, but for you, what was your journey getting here and why did you choose AU?
So in my high school, I did every club that you could possibly do.
Oh, wow.
Even when I graduated, they quoted me as one of the most highly decorated graduates that they had ever seen from my high school. I had so many medals, like in stoles and ribbons, and ropes and cords and everything that I could not wear. I had to leave some in the car. So I'm looking for a campus. I knew that I needed a campus that had like a lot of student involvement. So when I was looking at something, yeah, like 250 plus organizations, I knew like this is the place for me. I didn't expect to run for Mr. AU. I was really walking this. I was like, you should run for Mr. AU. And I was like, hey, why not? And I went to the meeting and we're here. So.
Is there anything else for your story, Alyssa, since you transferred in? How's that been so far?
It's been really good. So when I was in high school, it was between playing soccer in college and Augusta University because of their nursing school here. I decided to play soccer. I went and I did well as a freshman. There wasn't any issues with that. It was a very tiny school. And I did want to go to a bigger school, and I feel like I was as involved as I could have been, especially because my ultimate goal is to do anesthesia, especially here in Augusta. That's CRNA school, doctorate of nursing doctorate of something. Anyway, it's a doctorate program. That's all. It's not coming in my head for some reason. But anyways, I decided to play soccer. Then I transferred here, and I decided to wait. Because I joined a sorority. We were required to go to Miss Augusta University and the competition and everything last year. And I remember watching and be like, oh, this looks like kind of fun. And I remember like looking at my other friends and being like, oh my gosh, you should run. Oh my gosh, you should run. And then I remember being like, oh, maybe I'll run next year. And then I saw the interest meeting and I was like, okay, like I'll just go see what it's about. And then I started doing the practices, and then I was actually putting in all this effort, and I was like, oh, like maybe like this is not just me saying it. I'm actually going to do it now. So I signed up, and also like here we are. I didn't honestly expect to get to where I am today, but mostly it's just like when I chose Augusta, it was for the nursing program, and because it's a bigger school, and because there's a lot more campus involvement. I know like smaller schools, like they don't, like this would never happen at my other school, this type of podcast or anything like that. So just a matter of being able to connect more and making those more networking connections was a big appeal to me as well.
So with being Mr. and Miss AU, this definitely is going to take up a little bit of your time, just a little. But what other involvements do you have on campus? Because you guys both mentioned that you wanted to choose the university because of all the opportunities. So I'm curious to hear what else you're involved in.
Well, I'm a part through the Multicultural Student Engagement Office. I'm a part of the African American Male Initiative. Through the Student Life and Engagement Office, I'm a part of the crew. I'm the Community Outreach Chair for the Pre-Law Club. I'm a part of the Augusta University Rotary Club. I'm on the Student Culinary Council. And a lot more. They're the ones that come to my head off top. So yeah, I just joined. Everywhere I go, they just throwing a barcode in my face. I just
Yeah.
Okay. So all it takes for you is a QR code?
Yeah.
I'm in Greek life. I joined Alpha Delta Pi I rushed last fall. I'm also president of the Transfer Honor Society here at Augusta. I'm a campus referee. I do intramurals. I referee football, soccer, basketball, ultimate frisbee, kickball, literally anything that we have. Ping pong, I just did ping pong, pickleball, things like that. And I'm also a handler for Augustus. So I walk around with him, make sure, he's good, and take pictures for people at events. And I'm sure there's also more for me too, but I can't think of anything else on my head. And this is going to take up a lot of time, obviously.
Yeah, working with Augustus is pretty cool. How's that been so far?
It's been really fun. My boss that does intramurals is the same one that helps with Augustus right now. So I was able to kind of like already have that connection. And I just walk around with him. I mean, it's been fun. It's nothing too hard to do. And I know who he is, but no one's around.
Yeah. Well, at this point in time, there might have been a reveal. But we'll talk more about that later. At AU, we pride ourselves on creating an experience like no other for everyone, including our students. So I wanted to hear from you guys, how has the university been an experience like no other to each of you individually?
I would say like acceptance. Although I knew what I had, I knew I had the abilities to win the pageant, it was like a freshman. And then on top of me competing against those who've been here for like 3 to 4 years, everybody, all the other 3 contestants, which they're great contestants, they're all in AMI, and I was honored to compete alongside them. They are a part of Greek life with the D9 organization. So like, not only am I the first freshman to win, like I know people betted money on the pageant.
Not betting money.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm sorry y'all lost y'all money. I just was like, oh, okay, I'm a freshman, Yeah. Of course, I got the freshman class support, but I'm like, what about the sophomore to juniors? But a lot of grad students have stepped up. Some of them, I do have some newly found sisters because I am an only child. Of course, I have my aunt and my brothers. Shout out to Naya, Mac, and Gabby. The SG Rose in the Desert, they really have, stepped up and like, that acceptance, creating an experience like no other. I mean, also just the campus overall, because being a freshman, it can be hard. I know some freshmen would have been discouraged, but me, like, nobody knows anybody's story and what makes us who we are today. And I have some pretty tough skin. It wasn't easy at first. Some people feel like a freshman should have won, but if I lost $100, then I would feel the same way too. But it's just been fun, like that selfless and getting more involved on campus. So that's been great.
For me, I would say growth. Like I said, I've said multiple times, I would have never guessed if you would have told me a year ago that I would have won, let alone 2 years ago when I was just a freshman playing a college sport, that I would have been competing in a pageant of all things. I don't really have that much pageant background. My mom won a pageant when she was in high school. I think it was like Miss Sunshine. And I don't remember. She has a little newspaper clip. That's all I know. And then of course, you see the TikToks and the Instagram stuff about Miss Georgia and Miss America. And when I was in high school, I remember one of my English teachers, her granddaughter ran for Miss America and was an overseer and all this stuff. So I'm sitting here I've had all this background, learned all these things, but I never thought I'd actually run for it, let alone win. So I'm really proud of myself on how much I've stepped outside my comfort zone, on meeting new people, and just growing overall as a person and being more well-rounded. Because I do think that being in all these activities and on top of doing all these leadership positions and things like that is going to ultimately help us set us up for the future, our future careers, our future relationships, and ultimately just help us grow more, because college is a lot about growth, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think one of the best opportunities that you have by being a college student is to step outside your comfort zone, like you said. And once you get used to being outside your comfort zone, so much growth and so much learning and networking and transformation happens. So yeah, wholeheartedly agree. Have you guys been able to connect with any of the previous winners and get any advice, I guess, from them?
So by this time, I would have already sat down with Ebony. Ebony is the person that helped me last year. She's been a really good role model for me so far. She's been very supportive. I talked to her for hours just about future plans and what to do and what to look for, because obviously it's not just Miss Augusta. I'm also doing the Miss Georgia. And as someone who, like I said, I don't know anything about pageants, I'm very thankful for her support. So I just want to shout out her. And then I met a couple of the previous winners at the actual pageant. So it was nice hearing from them. I remember one of them asked me, did I think I was going to win? And I said, absolutely not. And she said, me either. So good to know that it wasn't just me. It's not just me being surprised. So I'm just so thankful that there is rallying support. But Ebony is definitely just my number one girl right now, because I don't know what I'm doing. So she's going to help me out.
Like Alyssa at the pageant, I met a lot of them, but of course none of them had ever seen me. And a lot of people said, we don't know who you are. And I opened the number introduction, I spoke Greek. So when I spoke Greek, it went from, oh my God, who is this freshman, to this freshman might just win the pageant because he spoke Greek. And Ebony, she is very helpful. She was like, I work at a JSS, so I'm your girl. If you need help with events, I can help you. But I can't overlook Cam, because he was the previous Mr. AU. And Cam, he is a big brother aspect. He keeps me on my toes. If I do something, he'd be like, can't do that. We don't do that. But he also reassures, he's not coming off as hard or just trying to be overstep his boundaries, that he really truly has my best interest. And he is truly just trying to look out and help me to make sure I can keep my title. And also being a black male in today's society, Augusta University is very accepting of us. So in order for a black young male that's pursuing their higher education, be able to pass it down to not only another black man, but to a freshman, I get where he's coming from. So sometimes I'm like, man, who he think he is? But, I also, at the end of the day, he truly has my best interest and he be trying to help out. So he has been very supportive of my role as Mr. AU.
That's great. That's great to hear how, for both of you guys, they've been very supportive of you kind of coming into this new role, because it is a big responsibility. And I'm also curious, how do y'all, I guess, process that, knowing that you're going to be role models and in some ways going to be the first people that certain folks think of when they want students involved or want to talk to students? How do you process knowing that?
I'm excited for it personally, but I think my biggest thing is I wear scrubs every day to school. So I'm they just see me with my hair up in a bun. I'm just getting out of clinical of 8-hour shifts. I probably don't look my best, but I think it does help having a academic standard of being in a program, helping represent the school and being the face of that. And I also do love, like I said, campus involvement. So even this right here, I was so excited to be a part of, because I do think that I am very excited to have a voice kind of here, especially as a transfer student, especially as a nursing student. It's just very exciting to be able to work with all these different people and just meeting more people, because I love to just chat. I'm a big yapper is what people tell me. So I'm very excited to just meet new people, make these new connections, make more networking opportunities, and just being able to represent certain individuals that maybe have some certain concerns or topics that they want to bring up. Just being a little bit of a spokesperson as well.
Well, I knew coming into college, I came here on a mission. And, being in college, you want to have that balance, because I am a Christian. So you want to have that balance of like, yes, I want to live by God. Yes, I want to live for God and through him, but I also want to enjoy my college experience. But I knew my mission coming into college was to like inspire and motivate. Like that was my calling here. And so like, even in my interview, they asked, what would you bring to Mr. A? Yes, I'm just here to empower and uplift, because I've been through some things in my life and I overcame them. So I know that I can serve as that beacon of hope to students. And like Alyssa said, sometimes I walk on my dorm and I'll be like, oh, wait, we got to go change clothes. You cannot wear sweatpants and hoodies. Like, which if we wear, nobody will be like, oh my God, they're out of, but I do try to dress up more. And like now it's a plan, I dress up every day and they just be like, oh my God, Quintus, how do you keep putting on outfits? I'm like, I don't know, I try. And that's what I always say, be like, oh my God, it was so nice. So, I try because like being Mr. and Miss AU, it's a big deal, but it's not as like daunting as people may think. Like, oh my God, it's a really fun experience to connect with a lot of students. And also I'm glad that students look at us as like, okay, if we have a question, let's color them. Because some of the stuff the students we want to do, I'll be like, y'all, let's wait. I'm glad you asked me first, because we used to do that. No, they're probably canceled the freshman class by now. We would be the first ever freshman class to get canceled. So like, it's fun to connect with a lot of organizations on campus. Not only do we get to represent our organizations, but we get to represent ourselves and also the SLE office or any other office that you represent, because I know I represent SLE and MSC. So I have to keep that in mind as well. Not only am I represent myself, I represent for a lot of people that stuck their necks out on the line and defended this, freshman that was competing. But now we're here, so.
Here. I'm enjoying the conversation so far. For those watching, stay tuned. We got more of these guys when we come back.
Hello, my name is Susan Davies, and I'm your Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs. I'm so delighted that I get to talk with you today about 4 to Finish. These are 4 aspects that we want you to incorporate into your life here at Augusta University in order to be successful. We feel like if you incorporate 4 to Finish, that you will be happier with your Augusta University experience and that you'll graduate on time. So what is 4 to Finish? Number 1, engage. We want you to engage both inside and outside of the classroom. Join a club or organization, speak with your faculty member after class, engage in undergraduate research. Number 2, we want you to make purposeful choices. Make purposeful choices about how you spend your time, about your major, and even about who you study with. Make purposeful choices. 3 is to develop your academic mindset. We want you to come into college and to be a student here at Augusta University with a growth mindset, with a mindset that allows for you to learn from others and to bounce back easily from mistakes. And number 4 is to follow your program pathway. This means following your curriculum in order to graduate on time, but it also means thinking about what you want to incorporate into your academic program to make it even more holistic for you. That might include an internship or student leadership. When you graduate from Augusta University, we want you to graduate with your degree in one hand and a career plan in the other. And 4 to Finish will get you there.
All right, and we're back with our Mr. and Miss AU. Another question that I was curious to hear from you guys, because you are so involved in, I want to say, in various aspects of campus. What would you say are some of the most valuable on-campus resources that you used or you would encourage other students to use?
Okay, I'll go first. My first thing was I am obsessed with the libraries here. I am when I study, especially as a nursing student, STEM major, I need to do active recall and writing things out. And personally for me, I need to use a whiteboard. So I appreciate my other school had 3 whiteboards. Library was closed on weekends. It was not the best. Just for me personally as an active recall writing learner. So I appreciate the Greenblatt it's okay. I'm not a big fan because I like talking, obviously. So I like the Reese second floor, or I always go to the health science building as nursing students. We have 24-hour access to that on the weekends. So when I'm studying past 5 o'clock, because I need to study past 5 o'clock on the weekends, I just go over to the health science building and use those classrooms and study and use the projectors and like do Quizlets and things like that with study friends. That's my number one thing. And I also do like the College of Math and Science building with the whiteboards in the hallways and the whiteboards over there.
Those are really cool.
So I 100% recommend utilizing these facilities, not just going home and studying or going home and saying you're going to study but not studying, because I don't study when I go home. So just making sure that you are utilizing these other things. On top of the fact, I also enjoy the treehouse. As a transfer student, I was able to get things like I got a t-shirt when like it's like swap the t-shirt or your transfer.
T-shirt swap?
Yes. I got a t-shirt. Now that I'm the president of that honor society, we work through the treehouse a lot. So I do enjoy, and I encourage under like freshmen and sophomores to go over there, just having that little safe community as well.
What about you, Quintus?
Well, mate, when I have to do work and sit, I have to work with noise. And I think like my school system is their fault, like coming from high school, because I ain't gonna say they handicapped us, but like even when we first moved into college, we always in our private service had check upon. Like we miss our old teachers because I had the same classmates as kindergarten. Like our honors group and our like gifted group, we never changed. So like even when we took a quiz, if it was quiet, we needed like one person to make noise. So shout out to you. That's why I always making noise. You know, when we was testing or quizzing, but we like it'd be quiet for a few and then it just get very, very loud. And we was able to work with it. So now I like going to the MSC office because they remodeled. They actually got a new like a ring, it's like a huge office, but it got like 2 offices in there that we don't have to go into because it's like Miss Sierra, Sasha, Miss Tori office. But it'd be like just AMI, MLP members up in there. You don't have to be an MSC to come. Like we let anybody come. But it got a soundproof booth up in there. So like,
nice.
If you ever aggravate, you just go in there and be like, nobody can't hear you. And then you just come back out. Like we be in there line dancing. Sometimes we'll be stumped and Mr. Roberta be like, you don't want if you don't stump. But you're welcome to go to the first floor stump. You don't need to be stumped. So I like going there. And that's the only place I get my work done. Because like, listen, when I go to my dorm, I don't do my work. I mean, I get it done, but I don't do it there. Yeah. And then at me and my friends study halls, we do work for like an hour. Then we just get to talk and listen to the music. So yeah, I like the MSC office a lot.
I wish the MSC office was what it was when I was a student, because it was only in like the conception phase when I was like graduating. So I was like, hey, that would have been cool.
Well, so I had like a quiet side and then like a party side. So you can come in here and be loud and party, and then over there you just be quiet and do your work.
Any other resources that you would highly recommend for students to use, or like if there's anything that's like a best kept secret that you would recommend?
I would definitely recommend, obviously, use the academic success centers on both campuses, whether it's actually utilizing the tutoring. I've done 1 or 2 tutoring sessions for anatomy before, or bio 1108, or as well, I've done I took a midterm in there. So just sitting down
nice.
And just having the resources of like, there are booths there and there's help if you need it type of thing. That is one of mine. And then I would also say that the student life and engagement office, I really do appreciate that I'm able to walk in there and like recognize pretty much everyone's faces and being able to be like, hey, I asked Roberto before I go, where am I supposed to go for the Into the Wild podcast? I don't know where to go. You showed me a map, but I was like, now that I'm actually here, I don't know where to go. So I was able to walk in there comfortably and just interact with these people, and they were able to point me in the right direction. Even this morning, I saw them. They were working at the health science campus, and they gave me a donut and hot chocolate they were passing out to medical students on campus. So just utilizing the student life and engagement people and offices as well, just being that backbone of engagement and interaction, because a lot of the things that they throw is what the general student population can go to.
I would just say join MSC. I know I may sound a little biased. Being that I did receive the key to the campus, it's a tradition that AMI has. I believe the initial recipients of it are picked by like our organization, like organizers. I don't know their titles. Mentors, organizers, directors, organization directors. I think they initially choose. But like when I chose, I passed it down to another mentee, and then that mentee passed to another mentee, and mentors passed to mentor to mentor. So maybe a little biased. And then Ms. Chartres, she's also my AMI mentor, or was now. I have my original mentor, Cameron, back. But and she was also my professor. And I also got to use some of my community service. I was in Dr. Clemens' Inquiry class to teach through my community service initiative. So I would just say join MSC, and you have to build relationships with them. Because a lot of students be intimidated by Dr. Clement. I mean, she is tall, but me personally, like, they be like, oh, that's Dr. Clement 2.0. Because, like, I don't play that. Like, that's still what starts, but I don't play. If someone's supposed to start at 5 o'clock, Dr. Clement's going to make sure you start at 5. And that's how the person I don't believe in wasting time and procrastinating. And Dr. Clement's, like, the entire MSC, they don't do it. Like, they get the job done. I mean, we be crashing out, a few times, because, daylight's be coming up, but we do get it done. You got Miss Tour and Miss Sierra Starship. So, yeah, I just think joining MSC is a great experience.
Love to hear it. And I'm sure they're going to love to hear what you just added about them. But I guess just outside of academics, what are some other, I guess, experiences that you had that you feel like the university has just helped you grow and develop outside of coursework and schoolwork?
Mine would be socially. I have learned how to interact with a variety of different people in a variety of different places. Like I said, I came from a tiny school, so there wasn't that. It was like, these people hang out with these people hang out with these people. Versus coming
Clicks.
here. A little bit, yeah. But coming here, I was able to be able to, like, my campus intramural referees, I was able to interact with them. My sorority people, I'm able to interact with them. My nursing people, I'm able to interact with them. And also being able to flow easily between all these groups and not have to change who I am as a person. So I believe that when I did transfer here and being at Augusta University with all these opportunities, and I know we keep repeating campus involvement, that I do think that you are able to make these connections. But I believe I grew a lot socially because I was able to do this pageant. I was able to interact with these people and just understand that I just need to be myself, and people will just accept me or not accept me. And at the end of the day, it's just up to me and just what I represent as a person.
I actually agree with what she said. Coming into college, the only person you can be is yourself. I mean, this campus got a mass number of students. Some of you probably would never see this. You probably never go here. But the pageant has helped me network and reach out more. Okay, because I moved there early for the AMI and MSC training. I keep referencing MSC, but that's how I formulate all of my connections. So my mentor is Cameron Wilson. So everybody was like, oh, y'all the perfect, like, your mentor introduced a new president. Like, who's ever introducing a new president? And so, like, when my mentor doing great things, and then it's me, the first freshman to win Miss AU, a lot of his friends, or some of his closest friends, when they see me, they embrace me. And, like, I competed with Omar, Tyler, Deontay, and, yeah, that's it. Make sure to forget nobody. We're all in AAMI. So with them being a part of AAMI, and then they're also a part of Greek life, like, through Tyler, I was able to connect to, like, some of the other signals on campus to formulate connections. And it's like a whole bunch of joking. Like, we see each other, we say like inside joke, about certain things, and then we just keep it moving. And then even through the crew, but through the pageant, that's how I met Mahogany. Then through Mahogany, I was able to meet Demai. Then I met Gabby, and now, and I'm not a hard person to get along with. So, like, even within my first interactions with some of the issue roles on campus, we just love it. Like, yeah, I'm a brother now. So now I'm just like, do y'all not know my sister? It's like, so, like, socialization has played a big part in it, but just competing in the pageant has allowed me to network with people who's connected to multiple organizations. So that's the great.
Piggybacking kind of off this, I remember, I'm going to talk about, like, one of my first memories of him. I remember walking in. I was super nervous. I didn't know anyone running. And Quintus was, like, the first person I talked to. We were able to, I don't even remember what we talked about, but we talked a little bit. And then everyone else started coming. I started to get more comfortable. But I remember this distinct memory. We were doing dress rehearsal. And me and you, I think they were giving us all feedback. And me and you we were doing the grapevine.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like, barely knew him for, like, 2 weeks or something. And we were in, like, I was in, like, a dress and heels. And we were in our, like, full-blown, I think, dress rehearsal. And we were doing the electric slide.
Like, if I was on stage getting critiques, now you're boom. Like, we're just on stage dancing.
It's just being next to each other. So I think I really do appreciate, like, socially, like, I think we are very easy people to get along with. And obviously we get along very well, which I appreciate. I really don't think like me being a junior, me being a freshman, me being in nursing school, like I think we're able to understand like where we're all both coming from and support each other along the way. So, so like I said, socially, just being able to grow and interact with people.
And it's ironic because we both contest number 3.
Yes.
Oh, really?
We're both contestant number 3.
I love that. I guess just as our newly crowned Mr. and Miss AU, do you have any particular goals or things you'd like to accomplish this year? Like I saw online, Quintus, you've been very active with your community service initiative, and also just posting about the different things you've been engaged with. But I don't know if you have any other goals.
So in the pageant, it's required that you do formulate a CSI, that's your community service initiative. And I do have a foundation back home. It's like mentoring and youth and like just serving as like that beacon and hope to show them like you don't have to be a product of your background. So even when it came time to create my CSI, and pause, I keep saying because Miss Chantel, if you're around her, she should be like, and she modulates her voice. So when I hear myself talking, I just have to stop and be like, okay, let me readjust, because being around her, you just pick up on it. Me and all my friends, we copy it, so what we start doing it. But my CSI pitch was Pillars of Promise, Empower Tomorrow's Leaders. It aimed to support and promote first-generation African-American male and female students, or any student from a minority diverse background, but not limited to so like the entire student body. So my goal is, like I said, coming into college, I knew what my mission was and what my assignment was, and that's literally to embrace and impact and uplift the student body. But I don't make it boring. Like I have to do like a modern approach. So my first presentation, which I gave in Dr. Clement class once, it's a reference. It was called Clock That, because, you know, Shamar, he was a viral sensation on TikTok, well, still is. And he had a song that say, we got on bake. So my title of it was Clock That, Accountability. So like the whole message surrounding the PowerPoint was accountability. And my subtitle was, we don't have on bake, we have on fake. And it's just basically taught the students the importance of like staying true to yourself and holding yourself accountable for your actions. And like even moving forward, I have a lot. I have one that's called Stand On Business. I have one that's titled Know Your Purpose, Black Man. You know, of course, that's promoting the Center to AAMI. So I just think my overall mission and goal is just to empower students. And in my reality, I hope a lot of freshmen run. Like I want to be like, oh, all the contestants are freshmen, which I know that won't be the case. But you know, like in my purpose society, it'll just be like, oh my God. Because feels like me, we have an entire, like, aside from Alyssa, but like freshmen, you know, just freshman homecoming Duke, and just, you know, specifically my friends. But, you know, of course, that's not how life works. Well, by this time, maybe so, who knows? But yeah, my goal is just to overall, like, impact the students.
Okay.
For me, I would love to just make more relationships with the AUPD and the student body, as well as working with other local Taekwondo martial arts type of studios, I guess you could say, as well as working with the local elementary schools. So I haven't set anything in stone yet because I am a little busy bee running around. I just need to sit down and get like dates figured out a little bit more, but I would love to do AUPD, like doing with Miss Augusta University self-defense class with the student body. I would also like to do one with the martial arts. It's called Tiger Rock is what I grew up doing. And there's one in Augusta that I've connected with already. And I've been to a class, a little rusty. But working with him and those instructors and doing self-defense of more of the martial arts type versus like the AUPD type. Maybe focusing more on like situational, because obviously not everywhere is going to be safe wherever we walk around, especially as a woman, just for me personally. So just being more of like what to do, what are signs if someone's tagged your car, what to do if someone's following you, things of that nature. Maybe less more like hand-to-hand combat, which I do think is important, but more of like prevention as well, just so it doesn't escalate to something. Also working with local elementary schools, and not just saying like stranger danger, but more like what do these people look like? What should the kids look for on these type of abductions or kidnappings, things of that nature, or focusing more on like recognizing that maybe this person that might be taking this child is not a stranger. It could be someone that they do know. I've been looking up like statistics on that as well. So those are my like goals. I just need to do it. I got
you.
And I think her community service initiative is great. Like the outcomes of the pageant, I don't really think anyone expected it to be us too. Like, if we just been completely transparent.
Yeah.
Like, we were shocked, but I think the crowd was a little more shocked. Of course, besides our friends and our family and our supporters. But, like, with her community service initiative, it aligned. You just have to know, like, the pageant world. Her community service initiative, her on-stage course, and her talent all align. Because here right now, if you ask kids what they do, I tell my friends that are females, I say, if she's somebody, just run. Like, if you can make it and you can get to the second door, you're good. Like, so I think hers is very, very effective, like, because they do spread awareness. Like I say, we learn stranger danger. You can scream stranger danger, still get kidnapped. Like, so I just think it's very effective. And just like, if you see somebody run, call AP. Because AUP, if you call one, like 8 come. So that is a good thing, but like, you need to know what to do to protect yourself until they get there. So I think it's very, very helpful.
Well, thank you guys for chatting with me. But before I let you go, my last question for you guys is to give, I guess, one piece of advice to someone watching this who may be considering about applying to be the next Mr. and Miss AU. Like, what would you tell them?
You want to go first? I'll go first. Okay. Just do it. Because I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do it. I was going to say I was going to do it. And I finally just did it. And then, like, 4 weeks later, I remember just being on stage and be like, oh, wow, all of my hard work and dedication just, like, went to this moment. I also want to encourage you, like, it's okay if you don't have background, if you don't know much about it. There are people that will help you along the way, as long as you understand what your community service initiative will be, as well as feel comfortable enough in your talent. Then I honestly think it honestly shouldn't be as intimidating. The people that you run with are going to be supportive. I remember talking to Tyler, one of the contestants, and I didn't really speak to him. I didn't know who he was. And he, like, sat next to me on a counter while Mahogany was doing her color guard routine. And we just talked about it. And he was just very supportive, and he was supporting me. I was telling him of my fears and going on stage. So I'm really not one to go on stage, but it was just a complete 180 for me. So I just want to say, just do it. Don't be intimidated. You got this, and that the people will be there to support you along the way. You're not by yourself.
I would just say take the initiative and do it. It can be a little intimidating, but I encourage all freshmen to run. I don't care if you've done nothing. I want to be like, oh my God, these freshmen apply. That's what I want. And also do something to set yourself apart. For my talent, I did a spoken word. It was an original poem. It was near and dear to myself. And I'll say, stay true to yourself. Because if you're not true to yourself, no one's going to call you funny, but you're going to be able to pick up on, like, this person isn't being true to themselves. So I would just say, take the initiative, do it, don't be nervous. If you need a pageant coach, me and Alyssa will be there to help you. It's kind of required that we come. But even aside from that, like, you can always reach out to us separately if you are interested in running. I can tell you, we both can, like, what it entails, the whole entire process. And don't be afraid. Just go out there and do it. And your on-stage question, my major is communications. I can give you a few pointers and tips that help you. I've done a few pageants in my lifetime. So we're here to help you take the initiative, and it's not that intimidating. I promise.
Well, thanks again for y'all for being here, talking with me a little bit. And yeah, for those watching, I hope you are a little bit inspired to apply if you're curious and wanting to wear the crown next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I certainly did enjoy talking to Quintus and Alyssa. I think we got some great folks in those positions. Like, they are going to be great ambassadors for the university and role models. I'm excited to see all the cool things that they get to do to help our university continue to shine bright. And on another note, I hope you guys enjoy our little set change, a little bit different from what you may have saw last semester, which is cool. We still got some more plans for the studio. And if you have any ideas for how we can make this space really cool, let us know. Like, I want to hear your ideas, because I have a bunch of ideas that may be too extreme and large, and they probably will never allow me to do all the things I want to do in this space. But I want to hear from you guys. And if you liked this episode, you enjoyed it, you want to keep the conversation going, help us out by liking, subscribing, do all the things on the interwebs, on our socials, in the Wild Pod. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. So go Jags!